Yes, Manikfan Saab, we know that in our times, the biggest Hijri calendar experts who are being followed by a mass of people, almost all of the Ummat, like Dr. Ilyas, you have Sheikh Khalid Shoukat, you have Dr. Omar Afzal, Sheikh Mohd Odai, Sheikh Salman. All these important scholars have written and spoken a lot on the Hijri calendar. So what are their concept, and how do you differ with them, and how do they differ between each other? Is there any difference between them, and how do you differ with them?
As far as I know, Dr. Ilyas is the most important person in this field. Rabitatul Alam al-Islamiyya had engaged him and trusted him to work out the calendar for the Muslim Ummah. And he does not know the rules of Quran and Sunnah in this matter. So he asked the ulama, Rabita has the ulama of the world, he asked the ulama, what is the criterion? How do you find out the month? Then they all said that Hilal must be seen before a month begins. On this concept, Dr. Ilyas has developed his theory, and he has tried to mark the places where the moon will be first seen in the world map. He gets a line which is not straight, almost an oblique line, and he makes 3 lines. First seeing people, second seeing people, third people, all see on that day. So this is what Dr. Ilyas has arrived at.
Is this the lunar visibility curve?
Yes, this is the same as the lunar visibility curve of Dr. Khalid Shoukat. He also is making the same with a little different. Dr. Ilyas takes 48 minutes. The others may make some 40 minutes, 35 minutes, like that. Different people are giving different things for sighting the Hilal. Whereas Hilal sighting is not there in the Sunnah at all. Because we see all the hadiths, we don't have any hadith saying that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has asked us to see the Hilal and report. Or he himself has never gone and seen the Hilal. We don't have any record in the hadith. So it is not the way of Rasulullah and the Sahaba to go and see the Hilal. And if we think about this, we can see that it is not a practical thing, because the Hilal is seen on the first day of the month, and this is recorded in all the tafsirs. It is seen on the first, not on the last day. If it is seen on the last day, then only this method can be practical. But we see the Hilal on the first. Then if you begin the fasting on the next day, we are beginning on the second day of the month. And if it is not seen, then we are beginning on the third day of the month. This is happening all around the world now. It's a wrong practice.
So how do you differ with, you mean to say that all of these ulamas that I have just mentioned who are living in our times, all are having the same opinion on this?
Yes, all are having the same opinion, because they believe that the Ru'yatul Hilal means sighting the crescent. This is a wrong concept. This was being done by the Jews in olden days. Rasulullah's times they were doing it. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given another method. That is what is said in the Quran. Quran is very clear. It gives us a very clear picture of it. Quran is not talking about the Hilal. There is no mention of Hilal in the Quran. But the Quran says that وَالْقَمَرَ قَدَّرْنَاهُ مَنَازِلَ حَتَّى عَادَ كَالْعُرْجُونِ الْقَدِيمِ. We have mentioned, that is manazil for the moon, till at last it becomes like a withered stalk of date bunch. So this is very clear. In the last days of the month, if you observe the moon in the morning before the sunrise, we can see that the moon is rising later every day. And last day, that is one day before the last day of the month, you can see this crescent, very thin crescent. And by seeing that, you will be sure that next day it will not be seen. This day on which it is not seen is the day of conjunction.
And the day before,
yes.
and the phase before it is called the
Urjunul Qadim, like Urjunul Qadim.
Okay.
So we are very sure about it, very certain. One observes that, you will be sure about it, that it will not be seen next day. That is the end of the month. It may be 29 or 30. So the next day after that is the first day of the month on which Hilal becomes visible.
You say that one thing you mentioned in between was all these people are saying about citing the Hilal. And it is very surprising when you said that even the word Hilal is not mentioned in the Quran. Is it so?
Yes, Hilal is not there in the Quran.
Is it? It's very surprising.
Yes, but people have believed that it is the Hilal which tells us the month is beginning on the day. It is wrong. Hilal is seen on the first day of the month after the sunset.
Have you ever communicated these things to the people whom I said, like Dr. Ilyas, Khalid Shoukat, Odai, Dr. Salman, all these people?
I have communicated with Dr. Ilyas in 1990s. I wrote to him how it is happening like this, different dates. One date should represent only one day. It cannot represent 3 days. Now it is happening like that when we are seeing the Hilal and beginning the month, date is differing everywhere. This is wrong. How can the Prophet ﷺ give us such a wrong notion? So when I communicated this with Dr. Ilyas, he says, I have no authority about this matter, I don't know anything. But the ulama is telling that Hilal must be seen before beginning a month. This has led all the Muslim scientists to make this sort of thing.
Have you also communicated with Khalid Shoukat?
I have communicated, I have sent many letters to him and many times. He must be knowing about it now. And Dr. Omar Afzal also I have communicated. Sheikh Salman, Zafar Salman also I have sent many messages, many emails, communicated for a long time. But all of them have committed this mistake, and now they believe that it is seeing of the Hilal. This is the trouble.
Okay. And did you meet them directly in some point of time?
I have met Dr. Ilyas twice, but he says, how can I discuss a matter which I do not know? He is avoiding. He is not ready to discuss. He can call for a meeting. He can arrange the meeting of ulama, but he is not ready to do that. I don't know why.
And as far as I know, the biggest authority on Hilal and the moon sighting issue or Hijri calendar is Saudi Arabia itself. So have you had any opportunity of going to Saudi Arabia and convince these scholars about your findings?
I have been to Saudi Arabia 5 times, and I have met all the great people on this subject, scientists as well as some of the ulama. But they are not ready to discuss the subject. They believe that Prophet ﷺ was an ummi, he does not know how to read and write. So what he would have done, he would have seen the Hilal and begun the month. That's what they are thinking. They don't know how to observe the moon. All of them have forgotten that method now. But in those days, they were quite aware of the moon's phases, and they knew when a month begins that it is correct and how many days it will have. It's very simple. If you observe and learn it, you can find out. So it is a very simple method, but people have forgotten about it. Nobody knows it now. All are going to madrasa or school, and they are learning something, and they believe that what they have learnt is correct. They don't do the practical.
Whom did you meet in Saudi Arabia?
I first went to Rabitatul Alam al-Islamiyya and met the astronomer Habib Alawi al-Husseini there and talked to him They all say, he said that we cannot say anything to the ulama. Ulama are telling that the hilal has to be seen. So we are believing that seeing the hilal is the criterion for the month. So we are calculating like that.
So was it a personal meeting or was it a formal meeting?
It was formal meeting. I went to his house and met, but he was at that time no more in the Rabita. He had worked there for more than 20 years and he was residing at Makkah. I met him and talked to him, but he says we do not know anything about it. Ulama are saying like this. That's why we are calculating like that.
Okay. Whom else did you meet in Saudi Arabia?
Then I met Dr. Omar Abdullah ibn Umar Nasif. He was the Secretary General of Rabitatul Alam Islamiyya. I had communicated with him. I have many letters from him. I met him, and at the time he telephoned to the observatory there, that is in Jeddah, and he told them that they should invite me and take a class and record everything, which they did not do. And I had also no time at the time I returned. After that I had no chance to meet them.
Okay. So did you have any formal communication with the ministry of this particular issue in Saudi?
Yeah, I have not met any of them, but I have gone to Riyadh. The Rabitatul Alam Islamiyya said that we are not dealing with the calendar now. That was in 1999. It has been transferred to KAX, that is King Abdulaziz City of Science and Technology. The astronomers there are making the calendar, they said. So I went there and met the director who was at the time, that is Dr. Salih Al-Atal. I met him and talked to him. He said that we don't know anything, we are doing according to the instructions of the ulama. They all say that hilal has to be seen. Then I said I want to talk to the ulama, and at the time I had to return back because my time was over.
Okay. So it means that the whole issue lies on the fact that the ulama, the scholars of the Muslim Ummah, they are stubborn on this issue, saying that moon sighting is the core of lunar calendar or Hijri calendar. This is the problem, is it?
Yes, this is the problem, because they have studied like that, they have been taught like that, and all the Muslim ulama today believe that the hilal must be seen. This is the whole trouble. But when we read the hadith, we can see that it is not the seeing of the hilal. The ru'yatul hilal means appearance of the hilal. When the hilal appears on the western side, that is the beginning of the month. I have read the paper written by Dr. Yusuf al-Karlawi. He is very clear about that. One great alim who lived in 1930s, he was an astronomer also, I think. He says that the definition of the hilal will be like this. That is, if the moon set is even 1 second after the sun, then somewhere in the world, the next day will be the first. This is correct. That is, when the conjunction takes place, it is at noon, usually at some location on the earth, the moon will be there and the sun will be up. That is overhead. Both the things are at noon. So this conjunction takes place at noon of a particular place in the world. There will be a day for that name of the day will be there. That is when they Thursday like that. So at that place, at noon, the sun and moon are at the same place. While setting, what happens is, the moon is lagging 2 minutes per hour over the sun. So when the sun sets after 6 hours, moon will be still there till 12 minutes. This is enough for hilal. So if we know the conjunction, we get the first date of the month. Very easy. It is very simple. And the science is using the same method for fixing the lunar month. We can find the lunar months given in all the nautical almanacs.
Okay. Thank you.